Morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this program. This is Jennifer, the co-host of Save the Boy Child. You're welcome to another section that we are holding, and today we are looking at an interesting topic that says the boys need sex education, and if yes, why? What are the reasons? So before we go further to dive into our topic, first and foremost, we ask ourselves, what is sex education? Sex education simply means providing information about bodily development. So as my body is developing, I need to provide information on why and how my body is being developed. Now the question is, do boys need sex education? And my own response is yes. Everybody has their own contrary view, but my own response is yes. And what are the reasons that I feel that the boy child needs sex education? Now, once the boy child is being born and the boy child is growing and developing, it is proper for us to give that child sex education. Most times parents out there, they feel that the only sex that can be molested is the female, but that is not true. We need to teach our children what sex education is. Let them hear it from the house first before they go out there to get information from the wrong source. So we teach our children, we provide information about their bodily development. I run into parents, I get to meet parents that when they're talking to their boy child and they're calling body parts, especially the penis, you see them calling it weird names, tontolo, totolo, names that you can't fathom where they got it from. The only thing I see in that is that you're putting shame on the parts of the body. And there are some parents out there, when you talk about sex education, they shy away from it. They tend to look at the child. Once you start saying things that has to do with the private body parts, they look at you as a sports child or not properly trained. But that's not true. We need to teach our children sex education, the boy child. Let's also let them know that they are vulnerable to things out there that can also affect them. They can also be raped. That's the truth. The same way they rape a girl child, that's the same way they rape boy children. But most times we don't hear it because when it happens, they shuffle it in. When you don't teach a boy child about sex education, when he goes out there, he can learn it from wrong sources, from friends, from peers, and sometimes they end up practicalizing it and turning it into what they never expected because they were not properly informed. And some of these boy children also end up becoming gay, which they never planned for. Some start thinking of cross-gender. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? So we need to parents, we should stop shying away from teaching our boy children what sex education is all about. Imagine a teenager growing up to puberty age, doesn't know what a wet dream is. That's the function of the parents. We need to sit down and start teaching our children what sex education is. It is very important. We let them know what their body parts. Please, we should stop calling penis names that don't exist. We should call them the names that they are. We should also teach our children that when you go out there and somebody is touching your penis anyhow, you should speak out. Don't keep it in. Things also happen to a boy child just the same way it happens to the girl child. Some of all those girls out there, if you ask them, they were converted or they were put into such practices because they were not properly informed. So I think sex education, the boy child also needs it as much as the girl child. Some of them are even being raped by women at a tender age, some raped by their fellow men at a tender age, and they are not opportune to know such information that, okay, at this age I'm not supposed to go into this, at this age I'm not supposed to do this. So we should create a healthy environment for our boy child, not only the girl child. They should also be taught sex education, and it should start from the house. We should not allow the boy child to go learn it in school or from friends or on social media. It should start learning it at home. Let you be the first one that will teach your child this is called penis. You should hear it from you. You now teach the child as they grow, as they progress. You now know, okay, this is the kind of information that this child's mind can assimilate at this point of time. This is what this child can take in at this point in time. So as they grow, the sex education also continues. It doesn't stop until they grow and get to the age of maturity. Then you know that okay, you have done your work. They should not go and hear about sex or their development outside the house. The house should be the first place where such things are being discussed. So just like as the girl child needs sex education, the boy child also needs it as well, because they go out there, they are also exposed just the same way the girl child is exposed. They also meet people, even in school, their teachers, they also come in contact with such. So we should also endeavor. So in my own opinion, yes, the boys also need sex education. They need to be schooled, they need to be taught. Though we might say, okay, their one is not much, it's just one part, but that one part is also vital. Sometimes they end up developing hormones, or sometimes they end up developing habits that were not there because they were introduced to something at an early stage, which they are not supposed to. If that child was probably informed or given a safe environment that okay, if such a thing is happening, you can actually speak out. I don't think some of the things that is happening now will happen. So we need to teach our boy child what sex education is. Please, we should stop calling penis on tolo weird names. Teach them what it is. Teach them what it is. This is what it's called. Then as the child progresses, you cannot tell them, okay, this is the function, why God put it in your body. Not going to learn it outside by practicalizing it. No, it's not good. You damage that child. So for me, I would say yes. Though the girls own are a little bit complicated, but the boys also need sex education as much as the girls. So parents, we should try, we should teach our boys just the same way we go over it with our girls. We should also go over it with our boys. Let them understand that okay, this is your body part, this is why it's developing like this is how it is. Let's us teach our boy child sex education. Thank you so much for listening to this audio. Thank you very much. And as we progress, we'll get to discuss more topics that we know that is also good for our boy children. Once more, I'm Jennifer, your co-host. Thank you.